Tougen Anki, episode 2. We have a nice little dream sequence of young Shiki playing in the background and how he had such a happy life just being around his dad. And then it instantly gets cut off where his dad gets cut in the neck and passes out, and Shiki eventually comes to and comes back. So like that dream sequence ended up being turned into a nightmare thanks to his soon-to-be teacher, who is, by the way, just this guy. Just we see him just like do some like handstands on an umbrella and do push-ups while being in the handstands. It's like crazy. Like right off the bat, you can instantly tell that this guy is some somewhat very strong just from how he is introduced, and he basically goes around and tells him like, "Hey, listen, I am here to evaluate you." Uh, Kind of breaks down the whole point of this evaluation is to see if he has what it takes to join the Oni agency, which is the uh, opponent or like the rival of the Momotaro agency, which the Oni agency just kind of like trains and militarizes Oni from a young age and teaches them how to fight off using their powers to fight off the Momotaro descendants. So as he's trying to get Shiki to understand that he is being evaluated, he starts losing as Shiki kind of wants to ask a lot of questions without really proving his worth, and he's like, okay, well, I think this old evaluation is kind of like pointless. So he's like, let me do something to make you understand fully what and to speed things along, because this guy's very likes to be very efficient and doesn't like anything that'll waste his time. So he grabs his tie and starts choking Shiki, which in turn, like, Shiki just like is like about to lose it. He's about to like meet a sentence like, if this is all you have, well, that's all you have, right? And at one point, he starts going into berserker mode once again. He's like, oh well, shoot, it looks like you're gonna forget this entire lesson that I'm about to teach you, because once Oni go into berserk mode, they don't remember what happened or anything that happened while they were in berserker mode. So this is quite the predicament, and the Onishiki just does not have what it takes. It instantly gets cut or like completely overpowered by this guy, and he basically is like, well, Shiki's like, well, you're actually quite strong. So he's like, I'm gonna swallow my pride and I want to be your underling. Let me train under you. He's like, I have a goal, and the goal is to be strong enough to avenge my father. Which the guy's like instantly like, nope, you're not gonna be my underling at all. You're actually kind of pointless. You're inefficient, and you really don't bring any worth if I to me if I train you anyway, and that'll be a waste of my time. So he's like, he kind of rejects Shiki. He's really well still trying to evaluate what he's gonna do, and Shiki kind of like realizes, oh, he's using his blood to uh create weapons and create this other the umbrellas. Is like, so she's like, okay, well, I gotta just start copying you then. He tries to copy him by bringing out his blood, and he got to a point where he was half going berserk so that he could bring out his blood forward, and he was able to suppress it, which is really interesting because this gives the guy a more concrete evaluation of Shiki and his abilities. Like, yes, he seems to be the kind that does things out of emotion without an inefficiency. He's like, so we get it. There's like mini kind of like way of showcasing that, where like this guy is like more calculative when it comes to battle, and meanwhile Shiki's more of like the uh instinct kind of person. And this is also like, in his ways, like he's in control of his berserker mode, where he gets to, well, this guy, not Shiki, gets to point out and actually send out percentages of power he wants to put out. Meanwhile, Shiki's more like letting it, trying to let it all out, and then suppressing it, which is kind of the unique way to do it, which gives Shiki enough of a praise to get this guy to be like, okay, you're not absolutely worthless, so I won't make you my underling, but you can be my student. And he lets him know, like, okay, we're gonna go to Onigashima. This is the place where we train all our Oni, and this is also where you'll be living from now on. So make sure you, if you don't make it here, then you might as well just die, because if you, everybody that gets in here is like trained to go up against the Momotaro. So he's like, don't make me waste my time. Don't make me regret choosing to give you a chance. And Shiki gets to go, and he starts wondering like what really happened to his father. And the guy lets him know, listen, we kind of carried him along with you. He's somewhere safe. His body's somewhere safe. Like, we haven't done anything to it. We're gonna allow you to do all the funeral stuff. Send them off properly, however you feel fit. Which is nice, because they didn't have to do this. They could have just easily have left the father there. But it's, assuming that Shiki, they probably figured that Shiki would be more reluctant to be part of the agency if they showed a little grace to his father, and also the Oni are not like complete monsters. So this was quite nice. So Shiki goes to the classroom and instantly wonders how he's gonna introduce himself. Well, cool and nonchalant, or very loud and arrogant. And the teacher's just like, just get in there already. And he meets his classmates, and we find out that the horns are indication of somebody being able to unlock their awakened Oni state. And we have a guy in the classroom that doesn't have them. Meanwhile, the other kids have them in variations. So Shiki's like, who are you without with no horns trying to come at me? You're not even awakened yet. And the guy's like, puts him up for show, and it's like, that's an indication of somebody who is like well trained. Like, the teacher does point out that if somebody's able to conceal their horns, their Oni horns, that means they're more in control and have a higher aptitude for controlling their Oni power. So we have Shiki, who is the complete bottom of the tier, against probably trying to pick a fight with the guy with the most skilled and probably the most well trained so far. And it's an interesting rivalry, of course, like the genius versus the the hard worker is going to be another nice thing, because Shiki does point out that he does want to work hard to like achieve his goals here. And before they even fight, the teacher kind of like gets behind them and sits them down, and the guy's like, I didn't even see him do that. Like, so the teacher is very efficient, very fast, as we've seen in the previous episode, how he knocked out Shiki. But now you're starting to see like not necessarily see, but you get a hint of the full display that Oni are capable of, and the feats that they can accomplish if they're skilled enough and trained enough. So this was supposed to be like their orientation day, but the teacher decides, you know what, we're gonna skip all that. We're gonna start with the training exercise right off the bat. Kind of tests them. So the test is pretty much, he takes them to this forest, and he tells them, you got an hour to head back to school. Oh, and while you're trying to head back to school, I'm gonna go and try to capture you. If any of you don't make it, you're automatically expelled. And everybody's like, what? But that's like, but why? And then he's like, well, consider this like real, not an extra, but consider this like part of actual battle. In actual battle, you won't get a second chance. You're gonna either survive or you're gonna get killed. So if you want to continue to impress me, I'm gonna keep continuing to put obstacles in your way, and you're gonna have to continue to surpass those obstacles, so that once you graduate, you'll be well off into this agency and be put in the front lines. And then, of course, the guy kind of like points out, what if we kill you? Because the teacher said he wasn't gonna use any of his Oni blood powers. And he's like, well, if you kill me, you just take my place, and you're put in the front lines right away without needing to graduate. And everyone's excited. Meanwhile, Shiki's kind of seems like he's shaking, but he's like, nah, I'm here, and I'm here to win it all. I'm gonna graduate. I'm gonna get strong enough to avenge my father. And he definitely seems to have the want and the will to put forward his best effort. So I'm really looking forward to it, because it's a nice way to start off a series. Not as not going into like full detail, just going straight into like, all right, you're introduced to the characters, time to train and who's figure out the ranking from highest to lowest. So I do expect possibly one of these students to get sent off, but not necessarily all of them. And I do expect the guy that has control over his swords to be like one of the first to actually make it back. But we'll see. Maybe they'll have to figure out to work together to prevent this guy from taking them and capturing them. But yeah, really good episode. 8 out of 10 for me.